Welcome back. After a long break, school uniforms have been pressed, lunchboxes packed as 500,000 students went back to school. Among them, WA's first COVID babies. Parenting expert Dr Bailey Bosch is here. It's good to see you again, Bailey.
Hi, Monica.
It is the first day back for many students, but for COVID babies, it's the first day of formal schooling. Will this week be a different start to previous years? What can we expect?
I think we've been relatively lucky in WA, but of course, like any classroom, it's made up of students from a variety of different backgrounds. So those kids that were greatly impacted by isolation and lockdown, we're kind of looking at the idea that there could be some developmental delays. So it's probably speech and language, social emotional delays. And also, these kids might not have had the exposure in turning up to their siblings' school like they might have once done. So helping drop off, pick up and so on. During those times when we were locked out of schools, they missed out on those normal experiences.
What are the signs that indicate a child may have been negatively affected by our COVID isolation rules?
Yeah, so as I said, I think in WA we were relatively lucky, but internationally certainly they're seeing things like difficulty with the language, there's delays in language, but even things such as not knowing how to turn pages of books, so tapping at books, trying to sort of swipe across books. The impact, I don't think we can underestimate the impact, especially for those who really were in strict lockdowns.
Correct, and there could be many students coming over from the eastern states as well. Will teachers here have to accommodate and adjust lessons?
Well, they will, and this is a difficulty. We don't actually know what to expect. So like everything that came out of the pandemic, it's completely uncharted water. So only time will really tell what the long-lasting impacts have been.
You touched on social implications because, of course, COVID newborns, they missed out on all those cuddles with friends and extended family, even here in the West, because we did have isolation periods. Will they have the social interaction skills to cope in a busy classroom?
I think it could be overwhelming and overstimulating for some children, especially those that didn't attend other classroom settings such as daycares or pre-kindy. So it's definitely something to keep in mind. The face covered with mask was a significant difficulty because you couldn't see those non-facial, those cues. So there will be an impact.
There was also a massive emphasis on hygiene during the pandemic. How will this cohort deal with the rough and tumble of the playground? Will they need to be taught coping mechanisms there? Yeah,
I think we need to really teach our kids that our bodies are pretty resilient, and for the most part, a tiny little sniffle doesn't mean we need to isolate or we need to go home. So they were taught the extreme end of that, especially in those early days, and we need to do a lot of unlearning in that area.
And parents were naturally very protective of their newborns during COVID. How would you allay their concerns that schools are prepared?
I think as well as understanding schools are prepared, your children are going to be okay. The ability for our kids to bounce back, to understand and to learn, it's massive. So let's put a bit of faith in our kids. They will be okay.
Dr Bailey Bosch, we will chat again soon. Thank you.
Thank you.